When the maid fainted at the charity gala, the room gasped. Not because she fell, but because the millionaire screamed her name as she mattered. Angela Johnson never wanted anyone's attention. She worked quietly in the shadows of the Cross Mansion, 4 months pregnant with a child that wasn't technically hers, but carried a promise she made to a woman who treated her like family. Maya Cross, the millionaire's late wife, had chosen Angela as her surrogate shortly before she died in a tragic accident. But now Angela lived under the same roof as Nathan Cross and his new girlfriend, Celeste Blake, Maya's best friend. Celeste suspected something was wrong. Angela feared the truth would destroy everything. And at the charity gala, where the wealthy gathered in diamonds and champagne, everything did. Tell me in the comments where you're watching from right now. And if you're ready to hear the whole story, click subscribe so you don't miss the next one. The chandeliers in the Cross Mansion glittered like constellations, bathing the grand ballroom in warm gold. The annual Autumn Hope Charity Gala had only just begun, but the room was already packed with Seattle's wealthiest donors, politicians, tech founders, art collectors, and socialites eager to be photographed against the mansion's famous oak staircase. In the midst of the polished chaos, Angela moved quietly with a tray of sparkling water, careful not to draw attention. Her black catering dress was plain, and her tightly tied curls made her look younger than her 22 years. She kept her eyes down, breathing through the slight tightening in her stomach. The mansion's heat didn't help, nor did the hours she'd been standing. "You're moving too slow, again." Angela stiffened. Celeste Blake, draped in emerald silk gown that swept the floor like liquid jealousy, stood before her with a glass of champagne in her hand and irritation in her eyes. The woman's beauty was sharp, blonde waves, elegant posture, and a smile that never reached her gaze. Celeste had been Maya Cross's best friend. Now she was Nathan's girlfriend. "Sorry," Angela murmured. "I'll speed up." Celeste leaned in, her perfume sugary and suffocating. "Don't apologize. Just try, really try not to embarrass the Crosses tonight. Nathan has worked too hard to have the help dragging the event down." Before Angela could respond, Celeste plucked a glass from her tray with unnecessary force, forcing Angela to steady the wobbling drinks. Celeste sashayed away, slipping into a cluster of donors with the grace of someone who believed she owned the room. Angela swallowed hard. Heat flushed through her cheeks, then settled low in her abdomen. She took a slow breath, pressing a palm briefly to her stomach. 6 months. Almost there. Just get through tonight. For the baby. For Maya. At the far end of the ballroom, Nathaniel Cross stood in his tailored navy suit, speaking with the mayor about funding expansions for local youth programs. He looked striking not because he was a millionaire or a public figure, but because grief had softened him in a way that made people lean closer. Maya's death had carved something permanent into him. Even now, months later, Angela saw the ache in the small moments, the absent rub at his wedding ring finger, the way he scanned crowds like he expected Maya to appear beside him. Nathan caught Angela's eye from across the room, just a glance to check on her, and gave a faint nod. A silent question. "Are you okay?" Angela nodded back. She had to be. But another wave of dizziness washed over her, forcing her to grip the tray tightly. The ballroom lights blurred. Conversations became distant hums. She slipped out of the main cluster of guests, aiming for the nearest wall to steady herself, but Celeste's voice cut sharply through the music. "There you are," she called loud enough to draw attention. "Bring more glasses. These are warm." Angela turned, careful with her breathing. "I can get someone from the catering team to—" "Oh, so you're giving orders now?" She turned to the guests nearest them, laughing lightly. "You see? Even the maids here think they're above direction." A couple nearby shifted awkwardly. A photographer paused, sensing tension. Celeste stepped closer, her voice dropping into a hiss. "I don't know what Nathan sees in protecting you. I don't know what you've done to make him treat you like you matter, but trust me, you don't." Angela's heart thudded. The dizziness grew worse. She lifted her tray, but her hands shook. "Careful," Celeste taunted. "We wouldn't want one of your—" The tray slipped. Crystal glasses shattered across the marble, water splashing on Celeste's gown. The room fell silent. Heads turned. Conversations died instantly. Celeste recoiled as if struck. "Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me?" Angela gasped, clinging to the table beside her for balance. The edges of her vision darkened. Her body felt unbearably hot, then chillingly cold. Celeste stepped forward, voice rising. "This is what happens when Nathan insists on hiring people who don't belong here. Tell me, Angela, did you even graduate high school? Do you even know?" Angela staggered back, her knees buckling. Someone gasped. Her tray clattered against the floor. "Angela?" Mrs. Thelma's voice came from somewhere to her left, arms outstretched. "Baby, sit down right now." But Angela couldn't. Her breath hitched once, then again. Then her body folded. She collapsed onto the floor. And for the first time that night, the room truly froze. Her dress shifted, revealing the unmistakable shape beneath it, a rounded, swollen stomach. Celeste's face drained of color. Gasps rippled through the room, overlapping like crashing waves. "Oh my God, she's pregnant? With Nathan's baby? Is that why she's in the house? Maya hasn't even been gone a year. Was he cheating before she died?" The whispers became a storm. Nathan pushed through the crowd, eyes wide with panic. Angela, can you hear me?" Celeste stepped toward him angrily. "Nathan, she did this on purpose. She planned—" "Enough," Nathan snapped, louder than the music. His voice tore through the room. "Celeste, stop talking." She froze, stunned. Nathan knelt beside Angela, helping Mrs. Thelma lift her gently. Angela's eyelashes fluttered weakly. "Call Dr. Martinez and get the car." Celeste's voice cracked. "Nathan, you can't be serious." Nathan looked at her with an expression that could have melted glass. "We're done, Celeste. Leave." Gasps echoed again. Celeste stood there trembling with humiliation and fury. As she stormed out, Mrs. Thelma gathered Angela against her shoulder, whispering, "Hold on, baby. We've got you." And with the crowd watching in stunned silence, Nathan lifted Angela into his arms and carried her out of the ballroom, away from the whispers, away from the judgment, and straight into the night where everything was about to change. The rain had started again by the time Nathan carried Angela out of the mansion. It misted against his suit jacket, cool and thin, but he barely felt it. All he could focus on was the young woman in his arms, her limp hands, her pale face, the way her breath came in shallow, trembling waves. "Easy now," Mrs. Thelma murmured beside him, keeping pace with surprising speed. Her gray curls were damp from the night air. "She's overheated and frightened. Get her in the car first." Nathan lowered Angela carefully into the back seat of his SUV. Mrs. Thelma slid in beside her, holding Angela's hand in both of hers. "It's okay, darling. I'm right here. Just breathe with me." Nathan shut the door and ran to the driver's side, dialing a number with shaky fingers as the engine roared to life. "Raoul, it's Nathan. I'm bringing her in. She collapsed. Yes, she's pregnant. Yes, 6 months. Meet us at the clinic." The private clinic sat on a quiet side street 15 minutes away. The building stood dark except for the emergency lights, but as Nathan pulled up, the doors swung open. Dr. Raul Martinez, in a navy scrub top and glasses pushed up into his hair, waved them toward the private entrance. "Bring her straight in," Raul commanded, "quickly." Inside, the clinic smelled of antiseptic and warm linen. Raul led them to a private maternity room. Monitors buzzed to life. Angela didn't open her eyes, but her lips parted when Raul placed a gentle hand on her wrist. "Angela, it's Dr. Martinez. You're safe. I'm going to take care of you." Nathan stood at the foot of the bed, muscles tight, jaw clenched. He couldn't look away from her, couldn't escape the guilt threatening to choke him. Raoul fitted the blood pressure cuff around Angela's arm, watching the screen carefully. She fainted from stress. Stress, exhaustion, and emotional shock. Not unusual in pregnancy, but risky this far along. Mrs. Thelma made the sign of the cross. Lord have mercy. Raoul adjusted the fetal monitor, listening. A steady rhythmic sound filled the room, the baby's heartbeat, strong and vibrant. Nathan released a breath he didn't know he'd been holding. "The baby is still okay?" he asked. "For now, yes, but she cannot keep living under whatever pressure she's been under." Nathan's throat tightened. "I didn't know how bad it was." Raoul paused, turning to him with a look Nathan had seen only a few times when Maya was alive, during the countless consultations that led to the surrogacy. "Nathan, I know you cannot reveal anything Angela hasn't chosen to share. My hands are tied by confidentiality." Nathan's eyes flicked to Angela. "I understand, but I can tell you this. Your wife chose Angela for a reason. Maya trusted her. Maya cared for her. She wanted her protected." Mrs. Thelma nodded slowly. "Maya had the gift of seeing deeper than the rest of us." Raoul typed into the chart, voice steady. "If the stress continues, both Angela and the baby will be at risk. Her body is carrying more than life right now. It's carrying fear." Nathan felt the words like a blow. Fear. The child Maya had dreamed of. The child Nathan had barely allowed himself to think about. The child growing inside a woman he'd failed. Again. He moved closer to the bed, his hand hovering over Angela's blanket. "Will she wake up soon?" he asked quietly. Raoul nodded. "She's stable. She just needs rest." Mrs. Thelma rose from her chair. "I'll get her some warm broth from the kitchen in the back, something light." She stroked Angela's hair gently. "Bless her heart. This child desperately needs peace." When she left, Raoul turned fully to Nathan. "I'm not breaking confidentiality," he said firmly. "But you need to hear this clearly. Angela's emotional environment is dangerous right now. She needs a calm, safe place. Celeste cannot be anywhere near her." Nathan closed his eyes. He could still hear Celeste screaming, the accusations, the humiliation. He'd been blind, grieving, distracted, overwhelmed, but blind nonetheless. "Maya trusted you," Raoul said softly. "And that little heartbeat we're hearing is the last thing she left in this world. Protecting them isn't optional, Nathan. It's your responsibility." Nathan felt something inside him shift. A quiet, steady resolve replaces the panic. He nodded. "I won't fail Maya's child again, and I won't fail Angela." Raoul placed a hand on his shoulder. "Good. She'll wake up soon, and when she does, she will need someone who's on her side." Mrs. Thelma returned with a steaming cup of broth and a small, soft roll wrapped in a napkin. She settled back beside Angela, humming softly, a low, soothing melody. Something warm and old, like a hymn whispered through a storm. "Hush now," she murmured, brushing a harmless curl from Angela's forehead. "The Lord didn't bring you this far to leave you." Angela stirred faintly, eyes fluttering. Nathan stepped forward. "Angela, it's Nathan. You're safe. You fainted, but the baby is okay." Her lashes lifted slowly. The gala. I'm sorry." "Don't apologize," he said quickly. "Not for any of this." Angela looked to Mrs. Thelma next. The older woman smiled softly. "Drink, sweetheart. Doctor says you need it." Angela sipped slowly. Nathan watched her, every detail sinking into his chest like weight and purpose intertwined. For the first time, the truth hit him fully. He wasn't just responsible for this child. He was responsible for the woman carrying it. And everything, Everything had had to change. Long before the gala, before the scandal and the whispers, the story began in the warm, humming kitchen of the Cross Mansion on a quiet spring afternoon. Angela Johnson had been wiping down stainless steel counters after a community outreach luncheon when she heard gentle footsteps behind her. She turned to find Maya Cross, apron still tied around her waist, smiling the kind of smile that made people feel instantly seen. "You work beautifully with people," Maya said, leaning lightly against the counter. "I've been watching you all morning." "I just try to help where I can, ma'am." "Please, call me Maya." Her voice was soft, melodic. "I saw how you comforted that elderly volunteer when she started crying during the lunch prep. Not everyone has that kind of calm." Angela lowered her eyes, embarrassed by the compliment. "My grandmother always said it costs nothing to be gentle." "That's true," Maya whispered, glancing toward the hallway to make sure they were alone. When she turned back, something tender but hesitant lay in her expression. "Angela, can I speak with you privately?" Angela nodded. Maya guided her toward the small herb garden behind the mansion, where rosemary bushes and lavender swayed under the afternoon sun. "I don't know how to ask this without sounding strange, but Nathan and we've struggled to start a family." Angela's heart softened. "I'm sorry, that must be hard." "It is." Maya took a breath. "We've been exploring surrogacy. Carefully. Quietly. And when I watched you today, how patient you were, how steady with people, I felt something." She paused. "I know it's a huge thing to ask, but would you consider being our surrogate?" Angela blinked, stunned. "Me? I'm not..." Maya said, "I don't care about any of that. I care about character, and yours is beautiful." Angela swallowed hard. "I would need time to think." "Of course," Maya smiled. "But if you agree, I promise, Nathan and I will take care of everything, and I'll help with your sister's tuition as we discussed during the luncheon. You're carrying so much on your shoulders, Angela." No one had ever said that to her before. 2 months later, Angela sat in a small clinic room, gripping Maya's hand as Dr. Raul Martinez performed the embryo transfer. Maya cried softly when the procedure was done. "This is the beginning. Our beginning," Maya whispered. And it was. Angela became pregnant. A week later, she received a text from Maya. "Angela, the test is positive. We're having a baby." Angela smiled down to her phone, imagining Maya dancing around the mansion with joy. She never imagined that would be the last message she would ever receive from her. Maya died on the Thursday. She'd called Nathan that morning, excited to stop by a few baby stores while out running errands. She didn't tell him why. She wanted it to be a surprise. She bought tiny socks, a soft gray blanket, and a small framed quote that read, "It was always you." The police said the other driver ran a red light. Nathan collapsed on the kitchen floor when he got the call. Dr. Martinez had to drive him home. Angela found out later that evening and cried alone in her apartment until her throat felt raw. The world dimmed for all of them. Nathan disappeared behind closed doors for weeks. The once lively mansion fell silent. Angela sent her updates to Maya's email address because she didn't know where else to send them, but they bounced back every time. It was a digital reminder that Maya was gone. Nathan only emerged when Celeste Blake stepped in. Celeste, Maya's best friend since college, became Nathan's anchor. She handled condolences, arranged charity obligations, and answered calls Maya once answered. She cooked meals, organized schedules, and filled the void. And Nathan, too broken to see clearly, let her. 3 months after the funeral, they began dating quietly. No announcement, no rings, just two people clinging to each other for comfort.
Angela, meanwhile, was 4 months pregnant, exhausted, and working double shifts to cover bills. She hadn't gotten a single update from Nathan. She hadn't even been sure he knew the embryo transfer had worked. Finally, after her sister's tuition balance became due, Angela wrote a message to Nathan that trembled in her hands. Maya promised to help me keep my sister in school. I'm 4 months along. I didn't know how else to reach you. Nathan read that message 3 times before his grief-hazed mind fully understood. 4 months. Along. Angela. Pregnant. Maya's baby. The next morning, his car pulled up outside Angela's apartment. He stood in her doorway with red-rimmed eyes and whispered, "Angela, why didn't you tell me?" "You were grieving," she whispered, "and I didn't want to be a burden." Nathan inhaled sharply, guilt and heartbreak twisting together. Maya trusted you. If she were here, she would want you safe. Please, come stay at the mansion. Angela hesitated. Then let me work. I can't accept charity. Nathan nodded. Whatever makes you comfortable. And so she became a live-in maid. Mrs. Thelma, the longtime housekeeper, loved her instantly. She noticed the quiet strength, the soft spirit, the way Angela always offered help even when exhausted. Celeste noticed too, but differently. Nathan checked on Angela too often. He made sure she rested. He shielded her from harsh tasks. He watched her with a softness Celeste had never seen. The unease in Celeste's chest hardened into suspicion. Then suspicion turned into jealousy. Then jealousy turns into something darker. By the time Angela was 6 months pregnant, Celeste understood the truth. Angela wasn't just a maid. She was carrying a piece of Maya, a piece Nathan would never let go of, a piece Celeste could never compete with. And that was the beginning of the unraveling. The weeks after Angela moved into the Cross Mansion blurred into a quiet routine, one that Celeste Blake poisoned little by little. On the surface, Celeste remained the gracious hostess she had always been. She still helped Nathan coordinate charity events. She still floated through the mansion in elegant dresses, greeting guests with her polished smile. But when Nathan wasn't looking, she became someone entirely different. It started with the chores. "Angela, take these linens upstairs," Celeste said one morning, dropping a heap of heavy bedding into Angela's arms. "The guest rooms need fresh sheets." Angela blinked. "All of them?" "There are 11 rooms, darling," Celeste replied lightly. "You can handle that, can't you?" Angela hesitated. Lifting that much weight was unsafe this far into her pregnancy. Before she could respond, Celeste leaned in, voice cool. "Unless you think you're too special for actual work." Angela swallowed and carried the linens away. Mrs. Thelma found her struggling halfway up the staircase. "Baby, give me those," she said, snatching half the pile with surprising strength. "That woman's going to push you straight into the hospital if she doesn't quit." "Please don't say anything," Angela whispered. "It'll only make things worse." Mrs. Thelma pursed her lips but said nothing more. The comments came next. Celeste would walk by Angela and murmur things no one else could hear. "You think he cares about you? Don't get comfortable, you're temporary. Maya chose the wrong woman." Every word landed like a bruise Angela couldn't show. Then the sabotage began. One evening, Angela arrived in the dining room to see Celeste glaring at a crooked centerpiece. "Did you set this?" Celeste snapped. Angela shook her head. "No, ma'am, I just got here." "Well, you'll fix it anyway, and next time, try not to make the table look as sloppy as you do." A few of the staff exchanged concerned glances, but no one dared speak up. Rumors were already circulating, rumors Celeste quietly planted. Angela's trying to get Nathan's attention. She's not really sick, she wants sympathy. "Have you seen how he speaks to her? Something's happening." Angela heard whispers when she walked into rooms, saw smirks when she left them. She kept her head down, focusing on protecting her belly, protecting Maya's child. One evening, as she wiped down the counter in the kitchen, Mrs. Thelma slid a warm biscuit onto the napkin beside her. "Eat," she ordered gently. "You're fading away." Angela took a small bite, her hands trembling. "Mrs. Thelma, why does she hate me so much?" "Oh, honey," the older woman sighed, brushing a curl from Angela's cheek. "Celeste Blake ain't never hated you. Not really. She hates the love Nathan has left and what reminds him of it." Angela stared at the biscuit, her voice barely a whisper. "I never wanted trouble. I just wanted to keep my promise to Maya." "I know, child, I know." The breaking point came on a quiet Thursday morning. Angela was dusting the family portraits in the hallway when Celeste appeared behind her, arms crossed, eyes narrowed. She watched Angela's hand settle protectively on her belly as she reached for the next frame. Celeste's gaze froze. "You're pregnant." Angela stiffened. She'd tried so hard to hide the curve under her loose uniform, but Celeste saw it now, really saw it. A slow, cold realization spread across Celeste's face. No, absolutely not." Angela backed away instinctively. Celeste stepped closer, her voice trembling with fury. "That baby, Angela, that baby is Nathan's?" Angela said nothing, terrified. Celeste's eyes filled with a rage she'd never shown before. "No, he didn't cheat with you. He loved her too much for that. But my God," she laughed, a sharp, broken sound. "You're carrying Maya's child. Maya's, Nathan's promise, and you've been under my roof this whole time." Angela reached for the wall to steady herself.
Celeste's voice turned to ice. "You have no idea what you've destroyed." And just like that, the slow war Celeste waged in secret shifted into something far more dangerous. The first leak appeared on a gossip site at 6:12 a.m. A blurry photo of Angela in the upstairs hallway of the Cross Mansion, holding a laundry basket, her loose uniform softening the curve of her stomach. The caption read, "Who is she? Mystery woman spotted inside millionaire Nathan Cross's home." By noon, 3 more photos surfaced. One of Angela entering Dr. Raul Martinez's clinic, another of Nathan holding the door for her, and a third taken through the mansion's side window, showing Nathan speaking to her in the kitchen. Celeste had chosen them carefully. A shadow here, a cropped angle there, just enough to twist the truth into something scandalous. By evening, headlines multiplied. Secret mistress at the Cross estate. Nathan Cross moves on fast. Maid rumored to be pregnant. Was Nathan cheating before Maya's death? Angela saw the articles only because 2 maids whispered loudly near the pantry, scrolling through their phones. "It's her," she hissed. "She's the one in all the photos." "She trapped him," the other whispered. "Probably planned the whole thing." Angela's hands trembled around the dish she was drying. Her vision blurred. She fled to the back hallway and pressed both palms to her stomach, whispering, "I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry." Nathan called a board meeting that night. He tried to explain, tried to tell them the photos were misleading, but the board members' expressions were tight and cold. "Your reputation affects the company," one warned. "We're receiving calls from investors," another added. "This makes it look like you were unfaithful to Maya," someone whispered harshly. Nathan slammed his fist on the table. "I never cheated on my wife. This woman is carrying—" He stopped himself, remembering Angela's request for privacy. "Nothing inappropriate has ever happened in my home." But the damage was done. By morning, his company's stock had dipped 3 points. Journalists camped outside the mansion gates. Camera flashes flickered like lightning every time a curtain moved. Nathan released a statement insisting the rumors were false. The press twisted it within hours. Nathan Cross denies affair, but refuses to identify pregnant woman. What is he hiding? Celeste went silent publicly, letting the storm feed itself, exactly as she intended. Inside the mansion, Angela sat at the kitchen table with her head in her hands. Mrs. Thelma rubbed her back gently. "Baby, listen to me," the older woman whispered. "You did nothing wrong. You hear me? Nothing. But everyone thinks that I did something I never—" Angela broke off, choking on tears. Mrs. Thelma cupped her face. "Let the world talk, but you need to protect that child. That's what Maya asked of you." Angela nodded weakly, but her eyes were hollow. That night, long after the lights dimmed, Angela packed the few belongings she had brought to the mansion. A sweater, 2 uniforms, Maya's old prayer card Nathan had let her keep. She slipped down the back staircase as dawn spread blue light over the estate. At the door, she looked back once, at the house where everything had begun and where everything had fallen apart. Then she walked into the early morning cold, holding her belly, whispering to the life inside, "We can't stay here anymore." And she disappeared before anyone woke. Angela found the room by pure luck, or maybe mercy. It was barely larger than a broom closet, tucked above a laundromat in the South Lake Union district. The walls were thin, the paint cracked, and the window faced an alley where trucks unloaded before sunrise. But it was quiet. No one knew her name, and for now it was safe. She placed her small bag on the single bed and sat down slowly, one hand resting over her belly. The silence felt heavy after weeks of whispered accusations and camera flashes outside the mansion gates. "We're okay," she whispered to the child inside. "It's just us for now, but we're okay." The next morning, Angela walked to the community women's clinic 5 blocks away. She'd volunteered there before, sorting donations, restocking diapers, and helping exhausted mothers fill out forms. The work grounded her. It reminded her of who she was before her life became a headline. No one at the clinic recognized her from the news. Not yet, at least. She wore loose sweaters and kept her hair tucked under a simple scarf. She smiled softly and stayed out of the way, careful not to draw attention. "Sweetheart, can you hand me those wipes?" a mother of 3 asked. "Yes, ma'am," Angela replied, grateful for the normalcy. She swept floors, folded onesies, and organized shelves. Sometimes she paused at the window, watching families come and go, wondering how she would raise her own child. But each time fear crept in, she pressed a hand to her stomach and whispered, "One day at a time." 3 days after she moved into the small room, she heard his voice. She was folding blankets at the clinic when the television mounted in the corner switched to a breaking news segment. Nathan Cross stood behind a podium at a press conference, looking exhausted but composed. Cameras clicked wildly, reporters shouting questions he ignored until he finally spoke. "Angela Johnson is not my mistress. I did not cheat on my wife. The rumors circulating online are false, harmful, and cruel."
The room around her blurred. Her throat tightened as Nathan continued. "She is a private individual who has been dragged into something she never deserved. I will not disclose details about her, but she is not at fault. I ask the public for compassion." A reporter shouted, "Is she pregnant with your child?" Nathan's jaw tensed. "I won't answer that." The screen cut back to the newsroom, but Angela stood there trembling. He was still protecting her, at the cost of his own reputation. Her heart ached. That evening, her phone buzzed with a number she didn't recognize. "Angela Johnson? This is Emily Chen from Northwest Today. I'd like to talk to you about—"
Angela hung up immediately. She sat on her bed, breathing hard, eyes stinging. She didn't want cameras. She didn't want interviews. She wanted peace. But peace wasn't coming. The next morning, the laundromat's owner handed her a newspaper someone had left behind. Angela didn't want to look, but she did. A headline on the front page read, "Cross Company Plummets, Scandal Deepens." Angela gripped the paper, her stomach twisting. Inside were photos of Nathan leaving a board meeting, shoulders slumped, face tight with frustration. Analysts speculated about him stepping down. Commentators accused him of dishonoring Maya's memory. Online forums tore him apart. All because he refused to expose her. Her vision blurred with tears. That afternoon, Emily Chen called again. Angela let it ring. Then ring again. And again. Finally, on the fourth call, she answered. "Ms. Chen?" she said quietly. Emily's voice softened immediately. "Angela, I believe you're not what the media is portraying. I believe the story is wrong, and I think you're the only one who can stop what's happening to Mr. Cross." Angela closed her eyes. She could have stayed silent forever, but Nathan's weary face on the news wouldn't leave her mind. Neither would the memory of Maya's promise, her hand warm over Angela's, saying, "We'll always take care of you." Angela took a long breath. "Okay," she whispered. "I'll talk." "Thank you," Emily said gently. "I promise I'll handle this with care." For the first time in weeks, Angela felt something close to strength rise in her chest. She wasn't just speaking for herself. She was speaking for Maya, for the baby, and for the man who kept protecting her even when it cost him everything. Emily Chen arrived at the women's clinic with a notebook, a soft voice, and a gaze that made people feel safe. Angela sat across from her in a small consultation room, hands folded tightly in her lap, shoulders tense. "You can stop any time," Emily said gently. "I won't twist your words. I just want the truth." Angela nodded, and for the first time, she told the story out loud. How Maya had chosen her. How the embryo transfer succeeded. How Maya died a week later. How Nathan never knew because grief had swallowed him whole. And how she ended up working in the mansion only to keep Maya's promise and her dignity. Emily listened without interrupting once. Afterwards, she contacted Dr. Raul Martinez, who confirmed, within legal limits, that the pregnancy timeline aligned perfectly with Maya's medical records. He didn't reveal confidential details, but he didn't need to. His calm statement carried weight. The rumors circulating online do not match the medical history. Emily acquired the signed surrogacy paperwork through Angela's copy. Maya's name and signature sat clearly at the bottom. Hopeful, excited, trusting. Emily photographed it with shaking hands. "This changes everything," she whispered. She spent the next 2 days verifying dates, cross-checking statements, and compiling evidence. When she finally pieced the full story together, she wrote the article with care. No sensationalism, no cruelty. The headline read, "The Woman They Called the Mistress. The Truth About Angela Johnson, Maya Cross, and a Promise of Life." The story wasn't salacious. It was human. Emily's writing painted Angela not as a scandal, but as a young woman carrying a gift for a grieving family. She described Maya's kindness, Nathan's heartbreak, and the quiet dignity with which Angela endured the storm. Within hours, the article spread like wildfire. People cried reading it. Women shared it in group chats. Blogs apologized for their earlier coverage. Donors who had withdrawn from Nathan's company emailed statements of support, and Celeste Blake, who had enjoyed weeks of whispered attention, was exposed. By afternoon, a clip circulated of her berating Angela at the gala. Old staff came forward confirming her cruelty. Screenshots leaked from her burner account used to send tips to bloggers. Celeste's name trended with words like manipulative, obsessed, and jealous. Nathan's reputation flipped overnight. So did his company's stock. He didn't smile when it happened. He simply lowered his head into his hands and whispered, "Thank God." When Mrs. Thelma read the article, she called Angela immediately, her voice trembling. "Baby, they know the truth now. The whole world sees your heart. Oh Lord, I told you God doesn't sleep." Angela pressed the phone to her cheek, tears slipping down silently.
But nothing prepared her for the final knock on her door. It came after sundown, when rain hammered the streets like an angry drum. Angela shuffled to the door, one hand on her belly. She opened it and gasped. Nathan stood there, soaked to the skin, rain dripping from his hair, chest rising with uneven breaths. His eyes were raw, full of something she didn't recognize at first. Relief, guilt, hope. "Angela," he whispered, voice breaking, "please, let me in." Angela hadn't been expecting it, certainly not that night, not with rain streaking down her apartment window and Nathan standing in her doorway looking like a man who'd been drowning for months. They had barely spoken for 10 minutes when Angela suddenly gripped the arm of the couch, her breath catching. "Angela?" Nathan stepped toward her. A sharp pain radiated through her abdomen. She winced, hand flying to her belly. "Nathan, I think—" Another wave hit, stronger. "Oh God," she whispered. "It's happening." Nathan didn't hesitate. He helped her to her feet, one arm around her as she leaned into him, breath trembling. "I've got you. I'm taking you to Dr. Martinez." The drive through the storm was a blur of wipers, thunder, and Angela's labored breathing. Nathan held her hand the entire time, whispering, "Just breathe. I'm right here. I'm not leaving." By the time they reached the private clinic, Mrs. Thelma was already there, called by Nathan on the way. She rushed forward, raincoat soaked, face full of fear and faith. "Oh, child, Lord, hold her now," she murmured, pressing her palm gently against Angela's forehead before Nathan guided her inside. In the delivery room, the lights were soft, the air thick with urgency. Dr. Raul Martinez arrived within minutes, pulling on gloves as he spoke. "Angela, you're early, but not dangerously. Your body's ready. Let's help your little girl come safely." Angela gripped Nathan's hand so tightly he felt her strength vibrating through him. He brushed the damp curls from her forehead, speaking in a low, steady voice. "You're doing incredible. Maya would be so proud of you. I'm proud of you." Her eyes filled with tears, but she pushed through another contraction before she could respond. Mrs. Thelma stood near her head, praying softly under her breath. "Cover her, Lord. Guide this child into the world with your peace. Give her strength, give her breath, give her life." Angela felt everything. The pain, the fear, the weight of responsibility, and yet through it all, Nathan's voice anchored her. "You're not alone, not anymore." And then, suddenly, the pressure, the final push, the sound of Dr. Martinez's firm instruction, and then a sharp
beautiful cry filled the room. "It's a girl," Dr. Martinez said, his voice gentle as he lifted the tiny, wailing newborn into the light. "She's perfect." Angela's breath broke into a sob as they laid the baby on her chest. Tiny fingers curled, searching. Warm, fragile, alive. "Hello, my love. Welcome home." Nathan stood frozen for a moment, overwhelmed. Tears slipped silently down his face. "What will you name her?" Dr. Martinez asked softly. Angela looked up at Nathan, her voice trembling. "Faith. Faith Maya Cross. Because she's here. Because of faith. And because she carries Maya's light." Nathan covered his mouth with his hand, choking on a sound halfway between grief and gratitude. When Angela lifted the baby gently toward him, offering her over, he shook his head in disbelief. "Can I?" "Of course," Angela whispered. He held Faith as if she were made of glass, his hands trembling, tears falling freely. "Thank you," he whispered to Angela, voice breaking. "Thank you for giving Maya's dream life, for carrying her hope, for protecting her when I couldn't." Angela reached out and touched his arm. "She's ours now, Nathan, in every way that matters." Their eyes met, tentative, soft, full of something new and fragile. Not romance born of chaos, but something earned through loss, loyalty, and quiet tenderness. And in the glow of that tiny hospital room, with Faith sleeping peacefully between them, something shifted, something gentle and real, something that felt like the beginning of love. The old Cross farmhouse had never looked more alive. Sunlight spilled across its newly painted white exterior, catching on the windows and the fresh blue shutters that Nathan had insisted on, Maya's favorite color. The porch, once sagging and empty, now held rocking chairs and pots of bright chrysanthemums. A new wooden sign hung near the entrance. Faith's Haven, a home for women and children.
Angela stood at the edge of the walkway, rocking baby Faith gently in her arms as guests gathered for the opening ceremony. Volunteers from the community clinic, mothers who'd once come seeking help, local donors and neighbors, all drawn by the story Emily Chin had told with kindness and truth. Nathan stood near the podium, greeting people with quiet humility. He wasn't the polished public figure they remembered from before the scandal. He was softer now, steadier, someone who had walked through fire and survived. Mrs. Thelma bustled around with trays of homemade cookies, fussing over Faith every few minutes. "Child, you better cover that baby's ears when folks clap," she warned Angela. "Ain't no need for her to startle her way into life on opening day." Angela laughed softly. "Yes, ma'am." At exactly 10 o'clock, Nathan stepped behind the podium. The chatter quieted. "Thank you all for being here," he began, voice warm. "This project started long before any of us knew it. It began with Maya. Her dream to create a safe place for women who felt unseen." He paused, looking at Angela for strength. She met his gaze, nodding gently. "When Maya passed," he continued, "I lost more than a wife. I lost direction. But someone else carried her hope forward, someone Maya trusted long before any of us knew how much we would need her." Angela's breath caught, her eyes filling. Angela Johnson carried more than a child. She carried faith, grace, courage.
and she reminded me that healing doesn't erase love. It grows from it. A hush settled over the crowd. He turned toward the house. This place will serve women who need shelter, resources, and a fresh start, just like Maya wanted, just like Angela helped bring to life. He lifted the silver scissors. To new beginnings. The crowd clapped as he cut the ribbon. Mrs. Thelma cheered loudest. Inside, guests toured cozy bedrooms, a children's reading room with colorful beanbags, and a quiet garden Angela had planted herself. Lavender, rosemary, and a small bench beneath an old oak tree. Angela eventually slipped outside to the porch, swaying gently with Faith in her arms. Nathan found her there, the afternoon breeze brushing loose curls across her forehead. "She's peaceful today," he said softly, touching Faith's tiny hand. "She knows she's home," Angela whispered. Nathan looked out at the garden, then back at her. "Angela, this place wouldn't exist without you. It's Maya's dream. It's ours now," he said gently. "All three of us." Angela felt a warmth rise in her chest. She didn't answer right away. She didn't need to. Nathan's hand brushed hers, careful, patient, full of unspoken promise. Faith stirred between them, her small fingers curling around both of theirs at once, linking them with a simplicity only a child could give. Angela exhaled softly, a smile tugging at her lips. Maybe love didn't always come with fireworks. Maybe sometimes it began softly, with healing, with truth, with faith. And here on the porch of Faith's haven, with Nathan beside her, Mrs. Thelma singing inside, and the sun warming her shoulders, Angela felt something she hadn't known in a long time. She felt safe. She felt chosen. And for the first time since Maya handed her that precious promise, Angela whispered to the wind, "We're finally home."
This story was so emotional, and what stood out for me was how faith, love, and second chances can grow even from the deepest pain. Watching Angela rise, Nathan heal, and little Faith bring purpose back into their lives, it was powerful. How about you, story lovers? What stood out most for you? Let me know in the comments. And if you have a story of your own, share it. You never know. It might inspire the next one. Don't forget to subscribe. Bye, and see you in the next story.